Hey, AT from CNC at Home. It's been a while since I got my CNC laser, and something happened a while back where everything kind of got wavy. And I did a series on that. I'll put the link up over here, I guess. And you can take a look at that. It's a playlist. It turned out that there was some stuff that had gotten out of alignment. I did quite a disassembly and reassembly of the entire laser. And once it was all back together and aligned properly, everything seemed to be okay for the most part. There was still a slight wave in the burns, and I felt I could just live with that. Recently, I decided I really wanted to dig into that more to see if it's something that I could fix or replace a part, whatever it is. And in looking at what was going on, I believe the issue was with the V-bearings. I'll throw a picture of that up. There's this wheel, it's called a V-bearing, and it rolls inside of the extruded aluminum track. And for some reason, the whole gantry just kind of wobbled. And it's been doing that for a while. Well, I took a look at it today. I did some test burns. We'll take a look at that. And I thought if I just adjusted those V-bearings a little bit, one at a time, do a burn, see what it looked like, I could track down which V-bearing was the issue or if it was multiple, what the effect was in just turning each one of those individually and then running another test burn. What I ended up finding was that helped a little bit, maybe, sort of, kind of, but the gantry itself was loose. So I got out the Allen wrench and I tightened up the different screws on there. I over-tightened it, of course, so the whole thing wouldn't move. So I backed each one off just a little bit until it moved freely, and the burns came out much straighter. There's still just the slightest little wobble, but we'll take a look at the burn that I did, and we'll see that it's actually pretty reasonable for the cheap laser that it is. It's the low end, but we like it here. Anyway, let's go take a look at that burn. If you like the video, remember to give it a thumbs up. I've created a rectangle in light burn that's 2 millimeters high and 240 millimeters long. It's set to fill. The laser is focused. Let's go ahead and burn. It won't be obvious right away. As the burn continues, you will see that the line isn't really straight. It has a little bit of wave to it. So I'm adjusting one of the V-groove bearings now, give it about a third of a turn to a half of a turn, and then we will burn the same rectangle again right above this one and see how that compares. You can already see that it's wavy, and it's wavy in a different spot, so it did affect that. I've gone ahead and adjusted the second V-bearing, doesn't seem to have made much difference. Adjusted the third one, not much different there, and we'll adjust the fourth one. So not a whole lot different from the original burn. We'll put the straight edge down here so you can get a good look at the wavy part relative to something that's straight. If I can get it on here straight. We'll look at the line that I did after I adjusted the first V-groove bearing and after adjusting the second V-groove bearing. And see, those lines just have a wiggle to them, and that's just not acceptable. This one doesn't look too bad, actually. After adjusting the first lower V-groove bearing. Here's where I'm tightening up the gantry. The bolts on the top and the bottom were fairly loose, and so I over-tightened them, as I usually do with everything. tried to set the new 0 point, and that's when I realized that the gantry was pretty much stuck. I had over-tightened the bolts. I got the Allen wrench back out and just backed off the pressure on each side a little bit until the gantry moved freely. And then I left it set that way. The gantry seemed a little more sturdy on the bar as well, so that was nice. This burn looked fairly straight. Putting a straight edge up against it, it still looked straight. I did 2 of them just to make sure that wasn't a fluke, and both of them turned out pretty well. The next thing I wanted to do was burn a couple shapes and a bigger line or a fatter line and some text to see how that turned out. That looks really good. The line looks straight, the letters look square, the square looks square, the circle looks like a circle. This looks really good. I decided to go ahead and burn the initial bar a couple more times, make sure everything was still square, with the straight edge up there. And that looks really straight. I like the results. I'm going to turn this so that we can look at the line vertically. Over on the right hand, you can see how wavy those lines look. And over on the left, with the straight edge, those things are pretty straight. Not absolutely straight, but way better than this. As we look straight down on the burn with the straight edge, these first few burns are wavy, and it's very obvious that they're wavy. Here was our first straight burn, our last straight burn. They look quite a bit better than the initial wavy burns. The big fat line that I did right below the letters also looks nice and straight. Yep, they look straighter. Definitely this bottom one. Ooh, that was really wobbly compared to this top one. That adjustment seems to have really helped, which is nice. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you like the content of our channel, please subscribe and enjoy doing your CNC at home videos.